This showcase is sponsored by Narwal. Some of you know that I was able to buy a fixer house a few years ago and renovate it. In deciding what I wanted to update, I decided to keep the original hardwood floors because they're becoming so uncommon and they just have this beautiful look and feel to them. The downside is that they're significantly more difficult to clean and maintain than laminate and vinyl plank flooring. You have to do all this stuff. You have to ensure your mop is constantly clean so you don't scratch your floor. You have to avoid using too much liquid because leaving too much extra water and solution resting on the floor can soak into the floor and start warping it. It's a lot to think about. You have to use just enough to clean it so that it dries shortly after. This is a pain in the butt to do. I also have cats, so they track litter around the house and shed. Because it's so much work, I don't mop as much as I should, which isn't great for extending the life of my wood flooring. I've had other smart robot vacuum cleaners, and they've been great for vacuuming, but their methods for mopping leave a lot to be desired. They have a thing on the back and a water tank that just vibrates. It just doesn't do a great job of cleaning. It drags all the dirt around the floor, which isn't very clean, and leaves a ton of liquid behind it. That's a checklist of everything I do not want. Thankfully, there's an astounding amount of research and development going into robot vacuums. We finally have a robot vacuum with a mop that doesn't suck and it meets my needs. This is the Narwal Freo, the world's first self-cleaning 2-in-1 robot vacuum and mop, and the sponsor of this showcase. It's packed with a ton of tech and is insanely smart, so I don't have to worry about mopping or switching parts to move between vacuuming or mopping. Of course, when you have a robot vacuum, you don't want something that's going to be an eyesore. The Narwal Freo has a clean and elegant design that easily fits into any space. I especially like the clean white and soft curved design. They even won a Red Dot Award for their design, so good for them. But what's with this compartment up here? Inside this, you have a spot for the cleaning solution that automatically mixes with the water from the clean water container, and then there's also a wastewater container. Everything is clean now, but we'll have to check out how this looks after we use it. Now up top, you'll see that there's an LCD touchscreen with some pretty fun animations that allow you to set up the Narwal, control it, update it, set up maps, and more. You can select between 5 different vacuum and mopping modes. You can pick between mop only, vacuum and mop simultaneously, vacuum then mop, which is the best for cleaning, or choose the Freo mode. Freo mode makes optimal cleaning decisions and actions and uses auto cleaning logic that allows you to just set it and forget it. This is the option I'll probably use the most because it determines how long it needs to vacuum, mop, and if it needs to mop again. It's great. So let's start cleaning. I think it's so cool seeing it map up rooms live in the app and how it outlines a room when cleaning and then fills in the space in between. It's really precise. Of course, in the app, you can also label rooms in your home, update software, set up zone cleaning, no-go zones, surface types, cleaning routines, and get cleaning reports. Now, you're probably wondering, how can it map things out and move around with such precision? Much like some self-driving cars, Narwal's unique intelligent perception system uses various sensors, including LiDAR sensors. That helps it detect dirt down to the centimeter level and map out your home so it can intelligently and intentionally navigate around. Not only does this alleviate any concerns about having a camera in your robot vacuum, but also means that it's not dumb like many robot vacuums that just bump around randomly until it runs out of battery. Those robot vacuums often miss areas because they don't know where it has and has not cleaned yet. Hey, if I spend my money on something, I want it to last, and I imagine you're the same way. The Narwal is quiet, with sound levels between 59 decibels and 53 decibels, which is noticeably quieter than a normal conversation. They've chosen the right balance of suction force and volume produced, so you have the best experience. Interestingly, the research shows that the difference in suction power between 3000 PA and 5000 PA is only a 2% difference, but at the expense of being way louder. I appreciate that they went for something quieter because a few of the people in my house work from home, so finding a time to run a robot vacuum is a bit of a puzzle. This removes the need to worry about that. Also, my cats, Ruby and Cloud, are terrified of typical vacuum cleaners because they're so loud. With the Narwal, they're just curious. And despite being quiet, it doesn't mean it's not doing a lot of work. If we look real close, we can see that the Narwal is adapting to the surface it's cleaning. It can adjust the pressure and humidity for different floor types in the Freo mode, or lift the mop and activate the rollerblade when vacuuming on carpet surfaces. The last thing you want is having a dirty mop tracking dirty water onto your carpet, or a roller brush cutting into the drying floor cleaning solution left over from the mop. It's kind of neat how it has this intelligent interplay between different types of surfaces and cleaning modes to ensure everything is optimized rather than overlapping and creating a mess. Oh, and there's also these fun little brushes that make me think of the little arms scooping up debris from the edges and corners. They adapt and adjust speeds or pause depending on the situation, so they're also smart. If you've ever used a robot vacuum with a mop feature, you know that a lot of them sort of feel like an afterthought with a tank and mop attachment just thrown on. These designs have a hard time getting all the way up to the edges of a room. The Narwal Freo has a neat little move where it'll swing the mops to the side so it reaches the far edges of the wall alongside the baseboard, which is really smart. Kinda looks like it's a little swinging its little butt. It also has a patented dual algorithm technology that causes the narwhal to overlap its paths a few centimeters, ensuring that it doesn't miss a spot, and even results in vacuuming and mopping more times in the same area than other robot vacs. This is important because any debris left over on my wood flooring can cause scratches as people walk and drag it around. I need this to clean every inch. What's really critical for my hardwood floors is a clean mop. The narwhal can detect when the mop is dirty, will return to the station where the mop is cleaned, and then resumes where it left off. This is better than other robot vacuums that drag the mop until it covers all areas, which carries dirt everywhere. So on the Narwal Freo, the mop's being clean keeps my hardwood floors from getting scratched up from the mop itself and spreading dirt all around. Conveniently, it also allows it to replenish itself with new cleaning solution mix. Now when it's done mopping, it returns to the base and automatically dries the mop with hot air at 104 degrees Fahrenheit to prevent bacterial growth. I love this because I don't want a smelly robot vacuum, but I also don't want to clean and dry a mop. Remember, I want fewer things to worry about. There are two built-in modes for drying. A strong mode that dries in 3 hours at around 43 decibels, and a silent mode that dries in about 5 hours at a quieter 39 decibels. So, how much did it clean up? It cleaned a lot, good grief. I can't believe that's what I live with. It managed to clean up the litter, the cat hair, the dust, and mop up a ton of stuff. Now this doesn't have an auto-emptying dustbin, which is likely because of the space over here that's taken up for all the auto mop features, which I do prefer. It does have a sizable 480ml dustbin that should last about a week for the average size household. You can clean both the dustbin and the filter for repeated use, which is excellent, so you don't have to worry about any hidden charges for filters, and you'll want to use the Narwal Freo for a long time. I know I will. Now Narwal really wanted me to do a little bit more of a deep dive into the app, so let me show you some of the most practical and powerful features. Now there's a lot that you can do in terms of the map management. If you go over here, click on maps, you're able to split the room. So maybe you have a room that's a little bit different than how it mapped out. It's pretty smart, but it's not perfect. So what I can do is I can move the map around, and I can even rotate this if I want to split a room. Go like this and hit the check mark, and now it's been able to split this over here. You can also set up no-go zones if you want to. So right over here, I have a media console, and there's just a ton of cables underneath there. No matter how smart a robot vacuum is, it can still get tangled up in cables. So just might as well make it a little bit easy and just kind of block that area off from there, and then it won't even go there, and you don't have any issues with cables. But if you want to make it more specific, you can choose between whether it's a no-go zone for both vacuuming and mopping, or just vacuuming or mopping. You also have the ability to set the different types of flooring that you have in your different areas. So you have wooden floor, tile floor, or cobblestone. And so depending on the type of flooring that you have, it'll adjust how much pressure that it has for the cleaning. If you provide more information and details in the app, you're able to allow the Narwal to be more strategic in the ways in which it cleans. So there's a lot of really great features in the Narwal app. There's a whole bunch more that I didn't cover, but those are the most practical and my favorite. So if you want to pick up the Narwal Freo, check out the link in the description, and thanks to Narwal for sponsoring this showcase. Thanks for watching This Is Tech Today. Until next time.